Lost Ark Korea just had their Loa on, which of course is going to be the winter showcase of all the upcoming content we're going to be able to see in the future of Lost Ark. Of course, a ton of cool things were added and showcased, so of course we're going to take a look at everything that we can expect in the upcoming half a year of Lost Ark. They started off with an absolute banger, the new class, the Guardian Knight, a halberd user released next Wednesday in Korea. One thing to note about this thing is that sadly it is not a general unlock class, which was very much speculated and even like said in the previous stream. It's just going to be a female class. She looks absolutely beautiful though, but you know, it's not a male and a female class. So up next, of course, we're going to see ourselves the new transformation skills, and as well you can see that the triple runes are separate for the transformation skills compared to the basic ones, which is different from like all our other transformation classes. As well, we can see that transformation, the skills will be very similar to a female destroyer we will see in the video right now. Absolutely beautiful class. I will 100% be making her. I was a bit skeptical, like, did I really like her? But looking at these abilities, they always tend to deliver. So, you know, new class coming next Wednesday in Korea. Of course, we could see it in our own region, but we have no confirmed just yet until we get our news from AGS. Up next, we're gonna have ourselves the story conclusion of Act 1. It's going to be called The One Face the Ends of the Abyss. Here's the trailer of this story.
그렇게 모든 것이었던 아득한 과거, 흐트러짐과 바로됨이 끝없이 뒤엉키던 탐식의 굴레에서 대추의 빛 아크가 무한을 끊어내고 두 정의를 구분지었다.
사랑한다, 아만. 앞으로도 무수히 많은 밤이 찾아오겠지. 하지만 그때마다 너의 빛을 알아봐주는 사람들이 곁에 있어줄 거야.
난 여자, 깊은 곳에 숨겨진 자, 죽음의 질서로 지면을 지배하는 자. 혼돈을 짓밟고 먹어치울자. 그리고 모든 것을 다시 정의할자. 자신은 바로 그 모든 것이었으니 보아라, 너희 옆에 선 나를. 그래, 내가 바로 죽음이다. 내가 바로 질서다. 내가 바로 카제로스다.
이젠 정말로 끝을 내야 할 때입니다.
And of course, with that, we are getting ourselves a brand new objective, of course, because Kazuros is gone, and we now have to defeat the new Primal beings. With the first one we'll be facing is going to be in a brand new raid called the Shadow Raids. And this, of course, will be our new first Shadow Raid, starting off with the Witch of Agony Serca. And this is what she looks like. She looks literally straight out of a Elden Ring boss. And it looks absolutely beautiful. As well, a little sneak peek. This mount we're going to be able to get, which could be pretty cool. Gate 2 will be the Boss Corvuth Thul Rak. Yes, a very, very interesting name. It's going to be a horror-type boss. Literally, the raid is one horror movie. It's kind of crazy. It's as well the first time we're finding a non-kind of humanoid-esque monster, which could be very, very cool. So they said as well, don't expect that the raid mechanics are similar to other raids. These are going to be totally different because we've never fought such a beast before. And of course, with a new boss comes in some new combat features. So first of all, we're getting no trash mobs, no traveling arena, no HP recovery on Boss Berserk. Very, 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 very interesting. So if you just are able to kill the boss, you can kill the boss, which is kind of cool. As well, no big gimmicks that are stalling time. Up next, we have ourselves the new Ramble system, a spam skill phase where you have to do true stagger to the boss with your skills. Succeed a mechanic to steal a skill from the boss, which is going to be called a shadow skill, which is going to be placed on your consumable bar instead. So you're going to be able to use an extra skill from the boss, which is kind of an interesting concept. But of course, if you probably fail this mech, you just do not get the shadow skill, which will make the raid harder. Let's take a look at the new raid as well.
이 작고 귀여운 심장이 고동치는 소리가 들려. 그럼 네 고통은 무슨 소리를 내는지 볼까? 네 신선한 피와 살점, 아름다운 작품을 완성시켜줄게.
One small, very interesting little subject that they did say is that the cutscenes that were shown were actually not the full cutscenes because they were actually too grotesque to be shown for YouTube in Gate 2. So, Absolute Cinema, we'll have to see about that one, of course, arrive in Korea or in our region. But yeah, these bosses look absolutely crazy. What's very interesting is that they as well gave us the eye levels for this raid and something new. So the eye levels will be 1710, 1730, 1740, so the exact same as we currently have for hard mode Kazaros. But you can see there's actually 3 eye levels, and the reason for that is they're adding in a new difficulty, Nightmare. So Nightmare difficulty will be above hard. It will not be as hard as the first mode, but it's a step up from above it, and it just gives you extra rewards. And the raid release for Korea is going to be on January 7th. And of course, we see a nice little image right here. And these will be the rewards from the raid. So you can see there's 1710, 1730, 1740, how much gold you're going to get, as well equipment making materials, because of course we're going to get ourselves a new gear transfer and as well some core. So you can see the difference between hard and Nightmare is, you know, it's not really there because the materials are the exact same. But you can see the big one is, of course, that you get yourself some extra cores from doing Nightmare instead. And with that comes the new breakthrough system. And in my opinion, this is just a very, very like weird way of telling that that's just relic and ancient. So breakthrough system, super simple explained. It is just that you're able to hone further if your weapon is breakthrough. Like, that's legit. It's like your weapon right now in the middle one, if you get yourself the materials from the raid, it's going to be able to go to plus 20. And then when you break through the weapon, it can go to 25. It's literally the same as our old gear was. Like, if you remember back in the day, if you had like legendary gear, it could only go to plus 20. And then once you got yourself the relic or ancient tier, depending on what it was at the time, you could go to 25. It's literally that. So, you know, new system, quote unquote. And then, of course, there is some quality of life features added to the game up next, and these are kind of crazy. So, we got ourselves a new feature, is a times 10 tap, so just 10 clicks in one go for honing, for quality taps, for karma. Very, very nice. So one button is 10 hones, but as well, they added a new feature for stones. And this is a smart auto AI gemstone cutting button. So they say you shouldn't be really using this to get like a 9-7 or whatever, but it's literally just an AI tool that is just going to click and tries to give you the best result. So I'm just going to use this button forever. I do not care if I get a 9-7 this way, I get a 9-7. If I get a 9-9, 10-10, whatever it is. But it's just an automatic one button tool to cut your stone, which is super duper awesome. Up next, of course, there is some pay to win stuff added to this update. Yes, of course. And that's going to be first off starting off with Esther 10. So they're adding in a Esther 10 option to go from 9 to 10. Of course, with the breakthrough, the Esther weapons need to become stronger as well. So Esther 10 is an option there. They did add a new feature though, that if you have an L2 Esther 8 weapon and above, you can now convert back your weapon to a normal weapon temporarily. So this is not a permanent thing. This is just like you can use a weapon that's going to be better than your Esther 9 or whatever until you've gathered the materials to move on to Esther 9 or 10 as well. So I think it's pretty good. Of course, like these weapons are super, super expensive, but they're expensive to maintain as well. So imagine you're going for Esther 8 and now you technically have to go Esther 9 as minimum, maybe even Esther 10, and it's like, okay, that's going to cost me like 50 to 100 million gold, whatever, you know, it is. So now you can either choose to, you know, convert your weapon back and just continue from there, or you can be like, okay, I'm going to put it on hold for a little bit, turn back my weapon into plus 25, you know, break through it, etc. And then when I have the energy, she can go back to the Esther weapon and make it an Esther 9, Esther 10. So that's going to be, I think, pretty cool as well for the people that have those weapons. Of course, it's a very small amount, but it does exist, which I think is pretty cool. Up next, we have ourselves a new story called the Kadarum Islands, which will be, of course, after the Act 1 story conclusion, connecting it to the upcoming Act 2. And of course, this is going to open up a brand new sea with tons of islands, which of course we'll see more in the future of this stream. But you know, it's very exciting to see that we get a whole new part of the map added to the game. It's absolutely stunning though. Like, look at this image. And with that, of course, becomes another new dungeon, a new Abyssal dungeon. Guys, wow, it's been ages. Of course, we do not know if this is going to be a 4-man or a 8-man, but, you know, Abyssal dungeons, I love them personally. I am such a big fan of Abyssal dungeons. I think they're so cool. And it's called the Church of Horizon, which will be released in March. Up next, probably one of the most controversial and hated parts about this stream is the talk about the 6-character raid limit. It will stay in place for now because of economic reasons. And the reasons why is right here on the screen translated. So they just said that that there's not really a lot of people utilizing more than 6 characters. You can see that there's a lot of people, 70% of people uses less than 6 characters, and there's 30% of people that uses more than 6 characters. So it's kind of crazy that, of course, there's still more people doing more raids than just their main 6. And then you can see as well on the right side, the rice farmers are going ham right here, and it shows that over 96% of players do not have a full 1700 roster. I think, to be honest, this number is higher in our region than it is in Korea. So Korea really doesn't hone their alts, and especially not over 1700. So that's kind of interesting to see. So that's why they're not adding it more, because there's kind of no reason, because people do not really have more alts that would be benefiting from this thing, and it would just create like an economic nightmare. That's technically what they said. I'm not really the biggest fan of this argument, because I think the issue people had is not that they wanted to have more than 6, they just wanted to play less characters and just earn more golds from their mains. I think that's kind of what people wanted, but I could be wrong. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think about this. And of course, with that, because we're talking about gold, here is the new list of gold nerfs. I don't know the exact amount of the changes. Of course, they will be put on Reddit at sidereal, but you can see these are going to be the changes as well with the translation. So here we have, of course, the Prelude Behemoth, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. So even Mordum is getting a hit. So the Prelude, of course, is Echidna. So it's Echidna, Behemoth, Aegir, brelshaza, and Mordum, respectively, in that order on the left. And you can see, of course, that the adjustments and stuff are made there. They did as well say that all tier 3 raids are now bound gold fully 100%. So that is interesting to know as well. But of course, with the worry that it's going to be even harder to make alts or new characters, they added in a new feature, which is a gold shop. And this is to prevent inflation of gold items, especially on things that are of a lower tier, which is very interesting. So what they're doing as well is they're adding a gold shop, and as well they're adding accessories where you can just choose the stats. So it seems to be a single liner high roll, which could be pretty cool, selectable, 70 quality, and as well you can select a bracelet, a 1-1, I think it's probably a 2-liner, so 70-70 2-liner, but on the lowest tier. So this is still good, because I'm pretty sure most of the people out there do not have a bracelet always as good as this. So I think that's actually very good. And of course, here we see the items, and these are kind of interesting as well. So we have ourselves the Chaos Stones. We have ourselves a weekly limit of 400 tier 3 Aureas. Very interesting. We have, I do not know, by the way, if these are going to be per character or per roster. It doesn't really say, they don't really say that. I think these are probably per character, because otherwise it doesn't really make much sense, which means that you get yourself 5 level 7 gems per character buyable for 20k gold each, which is very good, because of course right now level 7 gems are like 140k or whatever, or something like that, and the game just literally puts them on auction for 20k. So we could see a rumble in the gem market because of this news, but that's, I think, pretty cool as well. You can see there is going to be accessories for 30k, and there's going to be a the box for the bracelet 20k. So you can see that currently the prices, in my opinion, are better in our region for a high grade accessory, but keep in mind these will cost no fiats. So of course I think with fiat prices is more than just this 30k, so I think it's pretty nice. As well as the Ark grid box as well, which is the same thing as this. So I think it's a one-time acquisition, so it'll probably give you like one relic grade core or something like that. We do not know what's inside, sadly. We'll have to see when it comes out. Up next, of course, is going to be the things we already knew, which the nerfs to tier 3, full silver holding to 1640, nerf of the cost of advanced holding 1 to 20, elixir transcendance are in your Ark Pass right now, but a really big thing which they never mentioned is that if you reach 1640, Ivory Tower and Thaemine will now give you tier 4 materials. Currently, it only gives you tier 3. The first time you're going to get tier 4 materials is from Echidna, but those 2 content pieces will actually get tier 4 mats. So, you know, some more raids to farm if you really need those extra pesky materials. It then went on that the character creation progress is a little bit weird. You have to go ahead and check a class, create the character, do all the stuff, then go to Trixion and then get the character test, which didn't really make much sense, because what if you just don't like the character you're testing? You have to create the whole character again. So they are remaking this whole process, and this is what it's gonna look like right now.
캐릭터 생성을 하실지 체험을 하실지 선택을 하실 수가 있고요.
들어갔을 때 바로 여러 가지 직업들을 확인할 수 있네요.
체험하기 내에서도 모든 클래스를 다 골라보실 수 있습니다.
가디언 나이트는 무조건 확인해봐야죠. 그리고 스페셜리스트 환수사 눌렀습니다.
체험을 해보시고 마음에 드시면은 이름 짓고 외형 커스터마이징하고 캐릭터 만드는 그런 방식으로 좀 변경이 되고요.
캐릭터 이름 로스타크 윈터
그러면은 이제 이 다음에 트리션으로 넘어가는 이런 형태로 저희가.
So you can see right there, it is just literally going to be more streamlined, and I think it's nice. It's nice that you can immediately swap between the characters on the go and just play them right away. I think that's actually very, very, very good. Of course, it's not as useful for us veterans, but especially as a new player, you can actually try out every character before you even click character creation. Of course, up next is going to be the accelerated main story quest, which we of course already knew as well would be coming, which is going to be very, very nice. Of course, if you do not know what this is, it's just that you're going to be able to get 1585 on every character by just doing main story quest with no need to hone. The game is just going to give you gearboxes every time you reach a checkpoint, which allows you to immediately continue on all the way to 1585. Up next is going to be the Milestone Missions. This is going to be replacing the guide system inside of Lost Ark. So technically, this is like one big tutorial. You can see there's different steps at the top as well, and if you complete your milestones and get enough points, you get yourself a nice box of rewards, which I think is actually very, very good. So this is just going to make it so much easier for new players to just follow this tutorial, do all the little achievements, get some rewards along the way, and then just of course move on until the next ones. And this is very cool. It's not only for new players. All these rewards, etc., are able to be obtained as a veteran as well. So even if you right now are a veteran player, you get yourself a bunch of rewards once the system comes in the game. Next is going to be a new skill recommendation system, and this is going to be based on the raids, etc. And this is directly from player data. So what people have been using, they're all just in here showcased, and you can immediately just go ahead and click a import button. And this is not only skills, guys. This is very, very, very nice, because what this does, it gives you as well engravings, gems, and Ark Passive. So it is just like one massive one-click button to do this. And what's really cool as well is that there even is a button to share your build. You can see right here, you can share your builds with others. You can import builds from others. So if I have a build, for example, that I think is really good, I can share this code and you guys can just copy paste it. You can even select what you want. You want only the skills, you want the gems, you want the Ark Passives, and which ones you do or do not want, you can click and unclick, which is I think very, very, very good. Up next, we have ourselves, of course, the next big one, and that's going to be, yes, confirmed, solo mode Act 2 and Act 3. So, brelshaza and mordum will be added to Lost Ark. With this will come a battle item removal of course, Act 2 and Act 3. So, what we will get is just a plain removal for Act 3, which is going to be, of course, the Gate 2 boss. But the flame scroll will just be provided to you by clicking this little furnace item. Very, very nice. Up next, we have ourselves the brand new Guardian system, and this is coming a little bit later, not in the next week update for Korea, but it's coming in January 7th with the Serca raid release. And what is actually very interesting about this, they are going to redo the way that Guardians are done in general. So the way that they're fighting, the way that they're doing and like spawning, and as well the buffs you get if you do not have a support in your team. So you can see on the right side, there is going to be a new universal Guardian map. So it's not like there's 4 areas anymore. You do not need flares anymore. You just go in and boom, the boss will always be at the same spot, which is going to be very nice. As well, there is going to be a new HP bar. Yes, we finally, after 7 years of Korea Lost Ark, get an HP bar inside of Guardians, which is very, very interesting. And of course, if you are queuing and you do not get a support, you get a brand new support buff, which is technically just 9% attack speed, movement speed, and 30% mana regeneration, which is very good. Up next, we have ourselves the new daily content piece for 1730 plus characters called the Rift of Chaos. This is going to be replacing your Curse in Front, your Guardian Raids, and as well your Cube ticket. Yes, yes. So what's going to be happening? The Chaos Dungeon, Curse in Front kind of stuff is going to be kind of the same. It's just going to be defeat some mobs for materials. The Guardian Raid is going to have a new weekly rotating boss each week for Guardian. So every single week, you're fighting a different Guardian for that week. So it's going to be, I think, just a bit more interesting than just fighting the same boss every single time. As well, the Cube will be replaced in this instance with the Hourglass of Hells, which will be a boss fight zone. So you're going to be able to defeat probably one boss fight, get your rewards, and get out of there. I think pretty cool. As well, up next is going to be the Book of Coordination content will be reorganized. As well, Tower will be removed, and weekly Unas will be placed in the Milestone Mission system. Of course, we have no clue how this is going to work out or play, but at least we know that those things are gone. If you really want to like enjoy the Tower by now, of course, or maybe get some achievements, go Duke Tower before it's removed from the game. Up next, we have ourselves the new Act 2 story, of course, that's following our current one. It will be called Aldebaran, and the world expansion released during summer and comes with exciting new sailing systems, or how they say it, you know. It was welcome with the Kadarum Islands, and it will be like a ton of new sailing content. Here we see some screenshots of the new islands. They are very diverse like they always have been, and people said that there is some crazy ones out there and some super wacky ones as well. So I'm always very excited to see all these new islands because they are so cool. Like we see a jail in here, we see some person's bedroom, we see like some lantern, snowy area, beaches. Like there's gonna be so many cool little areas to explore in the new islands on the new Sea of Aldebaran. And of course, with that comes a new lore thing, which could be called the Book of Adventure. It's going to probably be another collection thing for you guys to go ahead and collect a ton of lore and story elements. New content piece as well will be added called the World Boss. Yes, we've had field bosses, but they've actually never been classified as world bosses. So field bosses, of course, are 3 times a week. World bosses will be once a week with great rewards to be obtained for every adventure. Up next is a very weird horizontal content piece called the Sergatone, the Secret Twilight Organization. Technically, this is just a hit list. Yes, so you have to find these characters and then have to take them out. So yeah, much more wasn't really given as information, so it's probably just gonna have to uncover this whole secret organization, find who is at the top, find who's like the middle point, and then take out the big shots or do something about them. So there will be a ton of story with that, but they didn't really give much other information about this content piece. We as well have new events for the winter. The 1700 Mokoko Express will be added to your account. Of course, once per account as well. And this one will be a little bit interesting because you can see there is a new area on the right side right here. There will be a premium option added for more rewards as well. With them quoting as well as this allows you to get straight ready for 1700. I do not think that they actually mean that you get more honing materials, because we're going to take a look, of course, at the extra rewards as well. I think this is more support to make your character ready for 1700 raids, because the rewards from these guys are actually really crazy for the premium option. So here we see the difference, and that's why I'm saying that I don't think that they will really give you that many like progression materials, maybe a little bit extra, but you can see the difference between the two sets right here. If we then take a look, of course, at the translation, of course, we see that we get our card sets again. We get the books, we get the A-gear materials, the karma, the mordum, even some Ark grid stuff. But you can see that there is going to be the 30-day pet function we don't even have. This is like a Korea-only feature. We get to sell some blues and reds to do some tappies, okay? But you can see that there is something in there called level 7 Brilliance Gems, Blessing of Vizina, and level 8 Brilliant Gems, Ornaments, and Bracelets. So this is what I'm saying. I don't think that this will actually give you any honing mats, but will just make your character stronger. So what this actually gives you guys is going to be kind of crazy. It's going to give you 5 level 7 gems and 2 level 8 gems for free. If you get the premium, of course. So it's not technically free, but it's still a lot of gems, which of course in total from the Express itself will end you up at 9 level 7 gems and 2 level 8, which fills in your whole gem slot. So you do not have to put any 6s in there if you get the premium. And of course those bracelets and accessories will probably be very good as well. And yeah, they will probably just be a very big staple for you to get started on your account. I don't even know what they're gonna give you. It could be just like a high, it could be a high mid, but expect these things to be very, very, very good. So you're kind of just forced to buy this premium pack, let's be honest. So I'm a little bit double about this. I do not think it's really that bad that people are getting a really good deal probably for how much they have to spend for the items. Getting a full set of 7s with 2 8s on a new account, getting bracelets and accessories ready is going to be very good. But the only negative thing that I see about this system is that the people that are not going to buy this are going to get gate kept more, because it's going to be the standard right now for every single character to have full 7s with 2 8s. So yeah, we'll have to see how that's going to plan out, but at least I'm happy that they didn't make the progress or like the progression systems less because of the premium option. They just added some really good extra things for you to get alongside of your Express Challenge. They're a little bit all over the place. Up next, they're going to be talking about their winter events again. So they went like super far into the future, like March, April kind of vibes, and then they're going to go back now to their winter vibes. It's going to be a new mini-game boss fight, the Christmas Argos Vaulton mode. Yeah, this mode looks like absolute chaos, and people are really excited to see this piece. Of course, they don't really tell us if you have to actually defeat this boss or if it's just like a time-based thing. It's just that every time you fall off, you will drop some coins for other people to collect as well. So it kind of rewards you for staying on the platform. You have like 3 times you can fall off. So yeah, I think this looks really cool. I don't really know how much is going to be played or what the rewards are going to be, but at least it looks like something totally different from our normal adventure. This, of course, going to be the overview of the Winter Festival, so they're gonna get ourselves next week, of course, on the next Wednesday. The Mokoko Express, the Argos event, the new class, a new coin collection event. They are as well getting ourselves some new skins, which could be pretty cool. This is an image of the new skins, pets, and mounts. Look at the little dogs. I like them so much. Little owls is one on the top right. There's an attendance reward, they said, for 30 days or whatever, 7 days, whatever they have. This is their final attendance reward, and some pets as well. So I think they look very cute. I don't know why there's 2 different pets, because these are pets right here and these are pets. So yeah, I do not really know. This could as well be another mount or something like that. Up next, we have ourselves, of course, the new Ark Pass coming in, the Vagabond of the Desert, which could be looking pretty cool. It's going to be the brand new wallpaper, so I'm pretty sure it's going to look absolutely amazing to have your characters on that one. Here we can see a little bit of a side snippet of the new roadmap as well. You can see this is going to be on the 2nd and 3rd month of 2026. You can see there is going to be some new hairstyles. Yes, I know it's very small to see, but you can see there's like 2 little buns, the ponytail, and another long hair option for males, and another like very generic hairstyle for males. But like, I think they look actually very, very good. So yeah, new hairstyles coming to Lost Ark once again. So here we have the overview of the upcoming 4 months. So from left to right, of course, we got ourselves the new class, we got the new story, the Argos event, solo mode coming as well for Mordum and Brelshaza, the new Express, the new Winter Ark Grid, the new Ark Pass, sorry, no, not Winter Ark Grid, the new Winter skins, new Ark Pass, new other skins as well, the sharing system, and as well those new missions coming literally all next week, which is very cool. Of course, in the first month of 2026, we have ourselves the new raids coming in, the new daily system, and as well, of course, that new honing system as well, which we talked about before. And then we have ourselves the second month of February, which could be a Lunar New Year kind of event. The other two things are not really too clear, but just some other events. The new hairstyles, probably another new Ark Pass as well. And then as well, we can see that the third month will bring in the new raid and as well new expansion of the world. So yeah, very, very exciting. I know there's still like almost an hour left on the stream, but that was just for some ceremonial stuff, so it wasn't that interesting. And the last thing was, of course, the total rewards for every single person to celebrate this Loa-on. It's going to be a ton of items, including Theons, daily items, skins, walking path, MVP background, which is like a Christmas tree, which looks pretty cool. We got ourselves a free relic book. We got ourselves the anniversary skins box, which could be pretty cool, and even some Ark Grid cores. But that technically was it fully. So, looking at everything we've seen right now, I have not checked Reddit. I'm gonna keep it real. I have woken up, I watched the stream, I took the notes. I have not read anyone's feedback about this update, but I can already guess what a lot of people are gonna say, and that there has been no things changed with these problems that currently are existing in Lost Ark, especially like raid fatigue, and as well that some systems like Ark Grid are currently very, very, very unfair. And I think they're just kind of with this showcasing that they're doubling down on it. They just say that Ark Grid is just going to be a long-term thing. It is just going to be long-term, and people can be complaining right now about that it's a shit system and that it takes long and blah, 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 blah. But I think they're just like, yes, it is just going to be a long system. That's what they announced when it came out, guys. They said it would be a very long system. It would take you like a year or whatever to perfect it. And you know, you may be just never done with the system, and that's just kind of what they're going with. So we'll have to see, of course, if there's stuff going to be changing, because do not forget, we are getting a big balance patch for Ark Grid upcoming Wednesday in Korea, and then hopefully we get that same balance patch as well with our update a week later in Lost Ark. So yeah, guys, that is going to be everything. I hope you guys did enjoy the Loa-on Winter Showcase of 2025. If you guys thought that this video was useful, I'd highly appreciate a like down below, guys. Subscribe if you let me know what you guys are most excited or most not excited for. I think my top 3 things is going to be Dragon Knight. I know that's not the Dragon Guardian Knight, whatever the new name now is, because they changed the name. I'm super excited for that one. I'm technically excited for that premium Express challenge, because I think that actually looks pretty cool. But my number one thing I'm excited for is the auto AI stone cutting feature. Please, the worst thing in the game, let me click one button and they gave me that, so I'm happy about that one. Of course, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thanks so much for watching, and see you guys again soon for another video. Take care.